So good afternoon, distinguished guest, respected academician, researcher, delegates, and dear participants. So it gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to this plenary session on the theme AI, Neuroeducation, and the Science of Learning. We warmly welcome our respected chairperson of this plenary session, Dr. Tanuja Koli Madam, and our respected resource person, Dr. Selby Joe Sir, on the dais. Yes, Madam. Yes. Kindly be seated. So on behalf of the organizing committee, I, Dr. Jyoti Pawar, extend a heartfelt welcome to both of you. So now let me briefly introduce our respected resource person, Dr. Selby Jose sir. Sir has completed his MSc with first rank and distinction from Savitribai Phule, Pune University. With over 3 decades of teaching and research experience, Sir has published extensively in reputed international journals and has successfully guided 5 doctoral scholars. Sir is currently serving as head of the Department of Mathematics and holding several key academic leadership roles. Thus, Selby Jose Sir continues to contribute significantly to research, higher education, and the academic administration. Sir, we are pleased to have you today as the resource person of this plenary session on the theme AI Neuroeducation and the Science of Learning. Now, let me briefly introduce the chairperson of this plenary session, Dr. Tanuja Koli Madam. Tanuja Koli Madam is a vice principal, professor, as well as the head of the sociology department at Chetana College and Kusumtai Chaudhari College of Arts. With over 29 years of teaching experience, Dr. Tanuja Koli Madam has served in key administrative roles as in-charge principal, vice principal. She is an active member of several academic and professional social bodies. Ma'am, we are also pleased to have you today to preside this plenary session. Now, may I request Dr. Tanuja Koli Madam to welcome our guest, resource person, Dr. Selby Jose sir, with a bouquet. Thank you, Madam. Now, may I request Dr. Satish Khawle sir, the treasurer of our conference. May I request Meghna Patil Madam, to welcome our chairperson of this plenary session. Thank you, Madam. Now I request Dr. Tanuja Koli Madam to chair the session. I request our resource person, Dr. Selby Jose sir, to deliver his plenary address to on the theme AI Neuroeducation and the Science of Learning.
PPT is here now. No. Sajal sir. Sajal sir. No. PPT ke PPT. Yeah, already there. No, I Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. This is a session after the lunch, so you may feel sleepy, no? So I want to talk about you only. Okay. So, as you know that I will start with a simple thought. For the last 200 years, the education was changed very slowly. Last 10 years, the changes become, I mean, it was faster than what we have done it in the last 200 years. But for the last 2 years, it is changing very rapidly. Why? Because of AI, isn't it? Nowadays, the people are, as a student, you know that if you want to make a presentation, oh, you can do it in a 1 hour time, no? Isn't it? Using ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude or something you use and you can get the answers very fast, isn't it? Is there any thinking involved in it? No, you won't think at all. Whatever is coming output from there, you just copy it and submit it over there, no? Is it? No, I don't think so. You'll do that? Okay. So the changing in education, is it because of a new technology or the new machines? Or is it because we understood how the brain learns? Is it because of that? So we have to design and to implement the machines, the intelligent machine to the system, education system. Can we design AI enhanced education support how the brain learns? Or can we align AI with neuroscience? So for aligning with the neuroscience with AI, you should know both the things together. Otherwise, we cannot implement or align both AI and education system. So we should know the intersection of the education neuroscience, the AI, and the classroom procedure or the classroom practices. If you want to integrate all the things together, then only we can get the new framework of the education system. How does the first thing is, I'll just go with how does the brain works. The learning is not a psychological one. It is a biological change. Okay, so when the learning occurs, there are a lot of changes occurs in your brain. Physical changes happens in your brain. So you know that the neurons form stronger connections and the synapses become more efficient, neural pathways become more stable. For example, you think of your brain as a grassy field. So when you listen a lecture, it is like walking through the grass once. What will happen? The grass will bounce back and there is no path shown over there. But if you think, if you do solve the problems or if you produce something out from it, then then what it is like, you are tracing the same path for 100 times. So then it will have, the path will appear inside the field. So if that one happens, then we can say that the learning happens. Otherwise, it is a passive learning. So whenever if you want to do learning, the first principle is that the brain requires active cognitive engagement for its structural change. For making the structure change, you have to have an active cognitive engagement. Now, the learning also required desirable difficulty. What is the meaning of it? This means that if it is too easy to learn, then nothing will happen in your brain. If it is too difficult, then what will happen? Your system will become down. For example, if you are trying to lift 1 pound of weight, your muscle will not increase. But if you lift 500 pounds of weight, what will happen? The system collapse. You cannot go ahead. You cannot proceed with that. So the changes, the desirable difficulty will be in the lower level and the higher level. Changes will be there. Then only you can accommodate that one. So that one, we call it as a desirable difficulty. So if AI make it everything easy, that means if on a fingertip, if you get everything available, then what will happen? We stop thinking. We will not think at all. So your capability of thinking, you are not utilizing that one, so that you cannot improve your thinking, and you cannot go beyond some certain stages. When students struggle, but succeed, if it does not succeed, you will be in a panic, or you will not, in a difficult stage. So, but if it is succeed after a struggle, the brain releases dopamine. It's a chemical change occurred in the brain. So it says that this is important. You are getting a signal saying that this is important, and you encode it. So if AI removes all struggle, what will happen to the neural growth? So we have to align properly the AI with the neuroscience. Otherwise, it will become collapse. Now the working memory of this one. As you know that when you say sitting for a lecture for say 15 minutes, you will concentrate on it. After 15 minutes, oh, bore ho gaya, abhi slowly, it's a feeling hota hai na. So what is it? Why it is so? Because your working memory is having only a less capacity. It is like, suppose you have you assume that the learning is like the information you are getting from the lecture is putting it on a cup of teacup, okay, so, or the coffee cup, and it has some limitation. And if you put all the things together at the same time, it will overflow. So it will not go into your mind. So what will happen? So if you can put one coffee at a time, that means one glass at a time, then you have it, then you take the next one, and then you take the next cup of coffee, then it will be enjoyable. Otherwise, you cannot enjoy the learning. So that's the reason, if you have to properly use your memory capacity, the cognitive load you have to consider. Okay, so if overload the memory, working memory, what will happen is confusion increases, learning decreases, and frustration rises. Nothing will go to the mind. Okay, if it is nothing is going into the mind, and if the next day some exams comes, frustrations comes, no? You go here and there, collect some note, mug up the things, and you'll try to write some answers over there. So the next thing is the emotion and memory are also connected. They are not separated. So if something is emotionally significant, the brain prioritizes it. That is the reason you will remember many memories from your school life. You will remember your inspiring teachers. You will remember the surprising things you have done in your life. That is because of the emotionally connected to it. You can remember, you may have a very good a favorite teacher in your school level. Why you remember her? She is having a lot of knowledge, and her teaching style was very good. That is the reason you are remembering them? No. She might have influenced you. In some cases, she might have helped you in some situation. That is the reason you are remembering her, no? It is not otherwise. Okay, so the question is that once you have once the emotion, the chronic stress comes, it will reduce learning. What will happen is when the stress hormone, that is called as a cortisol, level remains high, then working memory shrinks. Okay, the attention becomes fragmented and executive control weakens. So this has implication for fear-based classrooms. As you know that in school level, especially in maths teachers, what do is, you ask them to remember the table, remember the formula, by heart the formula. Otherwise, what will happen? They will punish, no? So because of that frustration, what do you do? It is a fear-based classroom for some people, those who are not enjoying mathematics in a maths lecture. And suppose you are always getting a first rank in the class, and some competitor are there, then always you have a feeling of competitive to retain that position, you have having some pressure comes to your mind. That is also because of the chronic stress. So the principle is the brain requires emotional safety and combined with the intellectual challenge. So if the safety comes without intellectual challenge, then what will happen? You will not learn anything. But if you have an intellectual challenge and combined with, if safety is not there, then what will happen is some frustrations comes. Now, when you recall, when a brain strengthens, when it recalls something, each time we try to recall information, then what will happen is the brain connections become stronger, learning lasts longer, knowledge is easier to use in new situation. This is why practice, a lot of practices are there, then it works. It will it will strengthen your mind, strengthen your brain. And if you teach your peers, that also strengthen your mind. And self-quizzing work also strengthen your mind. So you need actually for the brain, retrieval practice also required for a durable learning. And the other one is like the feedback and error correction. Sometimes you feel that, the students write the exams feeling that whatever be the answer they write is correct. That's the reason they are writing it. No? They feel that they are writing is correct. But the teacher says that you are wrong. Then what is the feedback? You are getting a feedback, saying that this one is this is not correct. And if you get that feedback instantly, immediately, then what will happen? You can correct that error. Otherwise, after a few months, you got that correction, you will not change it. That correction, whatever be the false things is there, that will be put it in your mind. That will be remains in your mind. You will not change that one. So the feedback must be timely, specific, and it must be actionable also. That means you should know why it comes, what is the reason behind that, the error and all. That should be known. So whenever delayed feedback comes, it will always weakens the mechanism. Brain is in fact social. Okay, learning is not purely individual. That means some people, they will not share with anyone. They will not communicate with anyone. They will be put themselves. So that type of learning will not give any benefits to that particular person. So it is social. That means you have to communicate with other people. Okay, teach the people, share your vision, your knowledge with the others, and increase the network. That will improve the dialogues. Okay, that will improve the brain learning, the learning of this one. This is why discussion, debate, peer teaching, and group problem solving are neurologically powerful. It is. But so we discuss something like what is a brain required for learning? The first one is active cognitive engagement. As I said earlier, it has to have a productive struggle. That means whatever you can handle, that much struggle you have to handle. Structured information respecting working memory, and emotional safety with intellectual challenge, retrieval practice, timely feedback, and a social interaction. These are the things required for the brain for effective learning. Okay, in any education innovation, if you are including AI, if you violate these principles, may increase efficiency, may increase, but it will not. It will decrease the deep learning of it. Now I'll come to the transition to till now we discuss about what brain needs. Now, how do we transit into AI? Now, whenever you are whenever you talk about AI, in the discussion, you say that AI is going to change everything, classrooms, teachers. AI is going to change teachers. AI is going to change the classroom. AI is going to change everything, isn't it? So those things are vague. the information you are getting is a vague information. It is not actually, it will not, I mean, it is happening, but it is not that extensively, it was not happened. So what is AI? In fact, the AI is in fact a system defined with, you know, there are four patterns are there. One is, sorry, four things are there. It is learned because of, learned by the pattern recognition. It will make the prediction based on the data and the adaptation they do, and the generation also will done. So I'll go one point by point. What is a pattern recognition? That is actually the foundation of AI. The pattern recognition means, in the case of a student, for example, it can be a student response time, it can be error type, it can be a click behavior. I mean, by how do you browse through the computer or the net, and it can be their quiz scores, it can be their writing samples. See, for example, I mean, if a student is trying to learn something. I mean, for example, they are trying to solve one linear equation in, say, in the school level. So if the student does not understand, then they will keep on the things from left equal sign. I mean, the left and the right of equal sign transfer to one side without changing the sign and all. The pattern, the AI will recognize that pattern, and they say that there is a mistake. So if a person frequently changes from left to right of the equal sign, then the AI can identify that, the pattern they can identify. Then they say that such type of activities happens with some other students. They say that there is an error, there is an error comes over there. So that is simple example of a pattern recognition. The prediction is what, based on whatever be the data they have, they come up with some conclusion. That one is the predicting, I mean, depends on the pattern. What is likely to happen next, that will be the prediction. Adaptation is a dynamic adjustment. Dynamic adjustment means what? If, so suppose a person is reading some text. So the AI monitors the reading speed, vocabulary, and how do they break in the sentences and all. I mean, they read the sentences and all. If AI feels that he understood, then he will come up with some complicated test and all for reading. If he does not understand, then what he will do is, he will come up with the meaning of the vocabulary, what is the word meanings and all will be provided. They break the sentences into small parts, and they will explain it further. That means, depending on the capacity of the student, it will give you the personal learning over there. Okay, but there is a caution. I mean, in adaptation removes too much difficulty, cognitive effort decreases. Now, the next is the generation, Gen AI. You are using that one, isn't it? Generative AI use करते हैं ना? Where? कहाँ पे use करते हो? ChatGPT. Okay. Generative AI is, it's not like a traditional AI. But what do they do is, it will write essays, it will generate explanations, it creates simulations, it answer open-ended questions, isn't it? And what you do is, whatever the question assignment and all comes, you just put it into the ChatGPT. It will give you the answer. Are they giving the correct answer? Are they? No. Sometimes, no? You have to identify where the corrections, whether that the given question is, the answer is correct or not. That you have to find out. Normally they use the large language models, and they will train with a lot of data, and based on that, they will create the information. Okay. Suppose you try to write an essay on the climate change. They will give a lot of information. How do they get that much information? They have trained with a lot of data. They have come up with a lot of decisions and all. All informations are available on the net. They will collect all the data. They trained it. Based on that only they produces the information, the essays and all. Okay, so they actually predict, depends on the pattern of the words you are giving, they will predict the next word in sequence. That is how they generate the test. Learning analytics dashboards. And you know that the LLMs in, the LMS in the universities and all, from that you can get the information about each and every student of the, each and every student's information will be available over there. Like how much, what is the attendance percentage, what is the score they scored in internal, external. Okay, so they have come up with. Okay, so what AI actually is in education is it will pattern detector. It will it will not understand what the maths is there, what is chemistry and all those stuffs is not known by them. It will based on the pattern they understand. Okay, and it will predict based on some probabilistic calculation. Okay, so it is a dynamic adapter and content generator also. AI is not AI is not conscious about anything. It is not ethical also, and it is not self-aware about anything, and it is not pedagogically wise also. And these are actually the human responsibilities. Connecting back to, can we design AI system that amplify these requirements? Or will we use AI to bypass them? If we bypass them, what will happen? The collapse. Everything will collapse. So what are the powerful synergies between AI and brain science? When AI is aligned with the cognitive science, it can amplify learning mechanisms. And when it is misaligned, it can weaken them also. Okay, so in a personalized learning, you know that each student is not having the same capacity of learning. And they are differ in memory, working memory, emotional regulation, processing speed, prior knowledge, attention control, and all. And you know that the traditional classrooms are designed for averages, but brains are not average. Okay, so I will go fast with this. Okay, so as you know that, I mean, the effect of this one, the risk of implementing AI in education system, the teacher deprofessionalization may occur. If AI system begin prescribing what they create, the AI create automatically the lectures, and it will create the assessment content, and it create the quizzes, it create the assignment, it create even the question paper as well, and it is making decisions also in it. You know that the rubrics and all you can put, and you can restrict the decisions on it by the teacher. So what will happen is, if it is done with the AI, then what will happen is the teachers are just become the implementer of that changes AI into it. This risk reducing professional autonomy and pedagogical creativity and contextual judgment of the teacher. AI must augment the teacher. I mean, it does teacher expertise, not override it. So if the conclusion is the science of learning tells us the brain loves curiosity, emotions, and connections. AI gives us tools that can finally listen to every single brain in the classroom. Artificial intelligence is not a substitute for human intelligence. It is a tool to amplify human creativity and ingenuity. Teachers, you are still the most important person in the classroom, and AI is just the super side kick that let you reach every student like never before. Okay, thank you. Thank you for listening.
Kindly be seated, sir. Thank you very much, Dr. Selby Jose, sir, for this deeply insightful, thought-provoking address. Your perspective on integrating AI with neuroscience to enrich learning experience has truly broadened our understanding. I now request our respected chairperson, Dr. Tanuja Koli Madam, to kindly offer her concluding remark on this plenary session.
Greetings to all the dignitaries present, my colleagues, guests present here, and my dear students. In this session, as we have, I think Joe sir has given a number of sessions on AI in this auditorium, and this was one more interesting session. We have never thought about how the brain works and it could be connected to AI. But Joe sir has very well, interestingly made his presentation on this session, which focused on the role of brain and how AI works in education. As we conclude this session, I would like to mention that we need to remember technology can amplify learning, but it must remain in service of human curiosity, creativity, and critical thinking. The future of education lies in blending the science of brain with the possibilities of AI. Together, they can create learning environments that are intelligent, inclusive, and profoundly human. Sir, we thank you for your interesting and insightful dialogue in this session, which will truly inspire us. I thank you once again for this inspiring session.
Thank you, madam. Now I request Chairperson Dr. Tanuja Koli Madam to present a memento to our resource person, Dr. Selby Jose, sir. Thank you, both of you. Now let me present a vote of thanks for this session. Kindly be seated. So I extend my sincere gratitude to our respected esteemed chairperson, Dr. Tanuja Koli Madam, for her gracious presence, thoughtful insight, and for skillfully guiding this session. I express a heartfelt thank to our distinguished resource person, Dr. Selby Jose, sir, for sharing his valuable knowledge and illuminating perspective on AI, neuroeducation, and the science of learning. So with this, we conclude this plenary session. Thank you all. I request the resource person and the chairperson to kindly be off the dais.